This is Sybert signing into Kane's Wrath on the map Sick City. Yes, that is the name of this map. In the top left-hand corner, as the pink Zocom, it's MasterLeaf. And in the bottom right-hand corner, as the blue GDI, this is Haruspex. Alright, this map, Sick City. Ooh, Rifleman Squad gets caught out. This map, Sick City, is one that I am unfamiliar with. Looks like we've got some blue in the bottom left and top right and bottom left. As I say the opposite thing while looking at the opposite thing. But then also a couple of tib spikes here, and it looks like one back here. And I don't know if this is supposed to be reminiscent of Small Town USA, which is also a city-based map, or if it's just, you know, it's kind of got a similar three-path kind of map going on here. But, weird layout of a map in a lot of ways. We have a lot of buildings in the middle, just like, you know, again with Small Town USA, but these huge ridges that completely break up the corners, the sides of the map, really force you either into, well, I'm assuming, but big stuff in the middle of the map, or little sneaky stuff, you know, flame tanks, whatever, engineers around the sides of the map, and obviously no flame tanks here, but you know, engineers, maybe aircraft trying to escape over this ridge or making use of these water ducts, stuff like that. So I have no idea what this is going to be like. Hopefully it'll be pretty interesting. Look at that. What are you, MasterLeaf, a noob? What, did you just start playing Kane's Wrath today? What is this, your first map ever played? What are you, a tournament champion who's won hundreds or thousands of dollars playing Kane's Wrath? What are you, some kind of idiot? Now, obviously, MasterLeaf's very good at the game and just bonked that refinery, placing it the wrong direction. And he's even calling himself out there, as you can see with the, like, 1,000 beacons that he ended up throwing down just a minute ago. Little bit annoying there. My gosh, these, Have you ever seen anything more exciting than riflemen in buildings shooting at other buildings? It's like World War II up in here, actually. Who cares about anything else that's going on? This is like a helicopter shot in a World War II movie. MasterLeaf heading through with a pit bull, going for a little bit of a scout there, and War Factory going to be dropping down. I guess it's a relatively short walk to your natural expansion, and then you got to try and get up onto that high ground. And the MCV actually is not dropping refineries. He's going to be on the move. He drops the War Factory and then immediately repacks his MCV and is heading for Haruspex. So I don't know what the deal is with MasterLeaf, but he's going the double War Factory and then I guess Predator tanks out of that. Yeah, so he's got his 4 or 5 harvesters on his main field, but that is pretty much it. So he's just going to be pressuring Haruspex directly here. A couple of rocket squads going to be pumping on out and, of course, jumping into these buildings, I assume. Jumping into these buildings to give him some extra DPS and give him some extra coverage when dealing with this attack from MasterLeaf here. And this is right into the expansion of Haruspex, so he dropped that refinery, he spent the time and the money on it, and now he has to try and find out a way to make it work for him. Watchtower going to be going down, and the power plant going to be protecting that from direct attacks as well. 2 Predator tanks going to be ganging up on 1 Predator tank, but a couple of rocket squads here are going to be able to even things up. Additional War Factory going down for Haruspex, and he's keeping that extra War Factory there. 1 Tib Harvester did go down. That Pitbull looking proud and happy with himself, but Haruspex is in a pretty good defensive position. Not a great defensive position, especially now that there's a War Factory and the buildings are starting to break down. Once MasterLeaf can break the defensive position that the infantry have, it's going to be a lot more just straight guns on guns, and he's the guy with more guns at the current moment. But more Predator tanks are going to be coming out for both of these guys. Whichever one can try and gain some kind of upper hand in the Pred tank battles is going to be the one who can kind of stand supreme here. Watchtowers are going to be a factor in that equation, but it's not going to be the be-all, end-all. In the north, it looks like Haruspex going to be showing up here with a bit of a rifleman squad hitting that power plant. Again, if he could take down 1 power plant, that would be nice, but he's not going to be able to do it with just 1 rifleman squad. Something sneaky around the sides of the map could be a way for Haruspex to try and break this out, but right now he is so focused on just survival, on absolutely trying to get anything out that he possibly can to stop MasterLeaf from just killing him right here, right now. That is about all he's got going for him. That sells off the war factory up there, and that power plant is down to like half health just from that one rifleman squad as Predator tanks move forward from MasterLeaf. Again, overwhelming numbers for MasterLeaf, but now it's 4 watchtowers. Unfortunately, no AP ammo would allow them to do a bit more damage, but he just wants to spend that money on more and more tanks. Trading out tank for tank is going to help Haruspex if he can, you know, bleed out a couple of more tanks. This is not good. One Predator tank way out front for Haruspex and unable to pull that guy back as he's trying to just run around buildings. He's trying to avoid MasterLeaf however he can. Losing that refinery is not fun, and Haruspex, he is backing his own tanks out, so he's going to be trying to stop MasterLeaf from getting a surround, I guess, but MasterLeaf is just going to be going for the kill, reverse moving potentially into the base of Haruspex, and going to be going either for the MCV or going for the economy down in the south, going for the power plants as well. Not a bad idea as Haruspex pulls his own Predator tanks back, and, well, it's just more Predator tanks from MasterLeaf, but that Conyard is down to about, well, 1/3 of its health, and that is going to be dangerous for MasterLeaf. He's losing his MCV up north while he's killing the refineries and the war factory in the south, so Haruspex at least has that going for him. He can lose one of these refineries and still be in okay position as long as he's got a couple of harvesters working here. Rocket squads all get crushed. They get squished into the ground there by the Predator tanks, and now the Predator tanks from Haruspex have turned down south, at least some of them. A contingent has turned as all of the harvesters get targeted and eliminated. MasterLeaf going for the kill on the economy of Haruspex there. Now, a couple of tip spikes are going to keep both of these guys producing some amount of money, but not a lot. And this is going to be both of the refineries gone. I might as well stay and kill the refineries just so the harvesters can't get back to work. But it's MCV versus no MCV, although the MCV may have been taken out or sold off for Haruspex. So it's a very weird situation for both players. The engineer is there, so that engineer could try and make a run for it. I don't know if there's an APC. Nope, it gets immediately killed there. So I guess there's no APC that engineer can get into now, as Haruspex is desperately trying to hold off this attack. He's just got a couple of units left, and even bringing in his rocket harvesters as MasterLeaf is desperate to end this here and now. Neither one of these players really has a fallback plan as the MCV is going down, but the war factory does still remain. And Haruspex is going to try and stand off with a couple of Predator tanks against all of these harvesters, against all of the Predator tanks of MasterLeaf. And this is going to have to be it for Haruspex. MasterLeaf keeping a couple of these Predator tanks just barely alive. If Haruspex could have targeted down those guys a little bit earlier in this game, he could have actually crushed 3 or 4 or even 5 of those Predator tanks and cut out a lot of the DPS of MasterLeaf's army. One more Predator tank pops out onto the field, and suddenly with 2 Predator tanks with repairs, everything else has actually gone down. Haruspex actually stands a chance. MasterLeaf has no harvesters refining currently. Of course, he does have the income, but no, no war factory, no nothing. So actually, Haruspex, as long as he can get out Predator tanks faster than the harvesters can kill his stuff, he actually has a chance here. He needs to, I think, circle around the refinery. No, he actually doesn't even need to. One more Predator tank from MasterLeaf. It just needs to be sneezed on to be killed, and a double vet pred from Haruspex. Oh my gosh, Haruspex turning this around, and that is it. MasterLeaf has been defeated in a very weird, like, sub-10-minute game where he went ultra aggressive but did not manage to get the kill. And oh my gosh, I can't believe Haruspex turned that around. I thought MasterLeaf had more tanks than that, but the last couple just evaporated. And that 1 or 2 extra that Haru was able to get out from his war factory when he had no power plants and it took so long to produce them, like those last 2 tanks were really what helped him win that entire game. I guess don't give up until the absolute last second, because if you get out 2 extra tanks, you actually can kill everything that MasterLeaf has, and that will do it for this match on Sick City. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all very much for watching, and this is Sybert signing out.